What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another video. Hope everybody's doing good today. It's a beautiful Monday today. It is 3:04 p.m. Excuse me. Today, I was thinking about going to the gym, but I'm probably not. I'll go to the gym tomorrow because I'm just not feeling it today. Because I'm going to go, let me see, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then I'll go Friday too. So that's still 4 days a week. So, I mean, that's still good. And y'all ignore the bumps on my face. My skin decided to be an asshole right now. So, yeah. And it is really, really hot out there. I think it's about 91. I think it's supposed to get up to 92 today. It is a real hot summer here. Ooh, I'm sorry about that camera. But yeah. And, I think about going outside. I mean, I went outside earlier, but, it's too hot to be out there for a while. And I think it's even too hot to be going to the beach. I don't really go to the beach no way, but still, it's just hot. And I think it's supposed to rain later this evening or at night. I don't remember, but we'll see. It's Florida, so yeah. But anyway, what I'm going to talk about today is it being hard out here for folks, for pretty much everybody. I mean, unless you real rich. Because, right now in America, to survive, you got to be rich. It's just crazy. But I want people to understand that for some of us, it's been kind of like, hard. Because, of course, it's worse now, but shit, I graduated from college in 2017. And it took me a while to, get a job. And the job that I had at the time, somebody helped me to get. And even with that job, everybody was nice, and it was a laid back atmosphere, but it only paid crumbs. And they even said that, most of us weren't salary. And they even said, with that job, it's more like a placeholder job. It's a job that you have till you get your big job, and then you just move on from that. And and the thing is, when you leave that job, you didn't even have to give 2 weeks notice or resignation letter or any of that stuff. You just got up and left, and they were fine with that. So it was that laid back. And in that job, a couple of times I could make $500, but after that I couldn't make that no more. I went back to making nothing but crumbs. And they train you and everything, and I was still, and over a period of time, I was still making they told me that I was still making the mistakes of that I made when I was first started there. So they took me off that particular job, and I'm not mad about it or nothing, because they had a big client, and they wanted everything to be efficient. So I get it. But they had another job available, but that job's not. They had how would I say it? They had another job to do, but it wasn't always available, and I need steady pay, so I had to leave that job. That was I worked at a job right back in 2018. And it was let me see, it was like 2018 and part of 2019, I think. I can't remember. But anyway, at that point, I was in between jobs. And, then I finally got another job. And, well, actually, let me backtrack to, the other job that I had that paid nothing but some crumbs. It was frustrating having that job. Cause when you have some money coming in, you want to, buy some things for yourself. I'm not talking about no luxury shit or nothing like that. It's just little cheap things. And I couldn't really even do that. And, I from time to time I went to restaurants. I had to go to cheap restaurants. But, that was really the only thing I could do. So, I couldn't really do much. So yeah, it was really frustrating. And even, before all this craziness happened, I want people to understand that, depending on where you lived, you could maybe get a place to, rent a place or something. But in my area, I'm in Melbourne, Florida. It's it was kind of expensive, and even when I was in college, I was in a different part of Florida when I went to college. I was in Leesburg, Florida, and number one, I hated that town. I don't give a fuck how anybody thinks or feels about it. I said what I said, but didn't like it. And even there, you had places that were expensive, and you had some cheap places, but those places you didn't want to rent because they were in not safe areas. So yeah, and plus I didn't have no money to rent nothing, no way. It was hard to get a job around there. That was the original plan, to get a job there, but didn't nobody want to hire him in that area. So I was still broke there. And so yeah, it was just crazy. And and fast forward, to me being in Melbourne, it's even back then things were kind of expensive. Things are especially expensive now. But it's just they just doing way too much with all this rent and everything, because I couldn't afford it then, and I especially can't afford it now. But with the new job, I was making more money, and I was happier because I made more money, of course. And and I could buy some things for myself more. Like I said, it was nothing expensive. It was little cheap stuff. And do a little bit more. And even I could send some of my friends things, because I'm that kind of friend. Sometimes I might send you some things. But now I if anything, I'll probably just send you a card, because can't afford to send nothing else. So yeah, it was last month, I was just curious to see how much some of these apartments are costing now. And like I said, it's just fucking crazy. And yeah, and even with me making more money, I'm not making a shit ton of money, but I'm making I'm making okay money. Excuse me, all these allergies still messing with me, but I still can't afford to move out of the place that I'm at. And I would like to have a place of my own, live alone. Because, I mean, I don't have no problem with my roommate or nothing, but I've always wanted to live alone in my life at least one time. But it's just, I wonder if that's even going to be a possibility in my lifetime with how crazy expensive everything is. I'm sorry, these pets running around making noises. But anyway, so I mean, it just don't make no fucking sense. And I would like to move out of Florida, because I've been living in Florida for a long time. I mean, it's basically been like, shit, I think a little bit over a decade, if you count the time that I was in college. Because I was just thinking about this the other day. I've been here long ass time, and before I wasn't counting the whole college thing, but counting that, it's been a little bit over a decade. So yeah, and staying here long term wasn't the plan, and I still don't plan to stay here long term. But I'm staying here longer than I anticipated, because can't afford nothing. Can't afford to move out of state, because I would like to move up north, because I've been living in the South like a good chunk of my life, born and raised in the South, and I really want to go up north, because honestly I'm getting just so fucking tired of the South. And moving back home, I don't want to do that, for one thing, and it's just not an option, because even when I was living in Mississippi, and I'm from Cleveland, Mississippi. It's a small one-horse town that don't even got a movie theater. Last time had a movie theater was late elementary for me, because not long after that it closed down, and that building was sitting there vacant for a long time, until like I think the middle of high school for me, and then they just tore it down. But yeah, we don't even got that. So, and there's no jobs there for for young folks. It's crazy. I wouldn't have no opportunities if I decided to stay. I just wouldn't. And it's not just a problem in my small town. It looks like it's a problem in the state of Mississippi, because even the governor was talking about, he was making promises how he was going to get more young people to stay, help them out with opportunities. I think that's all bullshit anyway of what he's talking about, but because I mean, we already know with these Republicans, a lot of them, they only here for themselves. So yeah, but I mean, staying in Mississippi just wasn't an option. And plus, like I said, I didn't like my small town, hated living in small town, and I just don't like living in Mississippi in general. So yeah, hey, like I said, that's my opinion on it, and I don't give a fuck how everybody thinks or feels about that. Because people be getting crazy over states when it's not that fucking serious. Come on now. But anyway, but now with just everything, with prices just skyrocketing, and you got everybody struggling pretty much now, and is you can't really afford to do anything. And I want to travel, I want to do a bunch of things, but ain't got the money for it. Because I mean, and I've said this on this channel before, is like, I always wanted, since like junior high, I wanted to travel around the world, and eventually just move abroad. And I want to move abroad now more than ever, because shit, I just can't get ahead in America. I just can't. And you know, the economy shit, and it kind of feels like we're in a recession without even like, but like nobody's saying it yet, you know, or we about to be in one. Because I mean, and the other thing is that there's really no safety nets, because you already know, you know who in the White House is cutting any and everything. So I mean, we just fucked now. And young people are, you got old folks that are fucked, but especially young folks are fucked now too. Because I mean, you know, growing up, we were really just lied to that, you know, we do, you know, everything that they tell us to do, and, you know, we'll be good. But here we are, and we struggling like crazy. And the other thing is, it's really hard to, you know, for people to get jobs now. And then if you got a job, you know, with a lot of these jobs, not every single one, but a lot of them, they shit jobs. And what I mean by that is that, you know, the employers if they could have you working 24/7, they would. And you're lucky if you get even a week off, because a lot of times they won't even give you that. So I mean, you working like crazy, and plus you got to work like crazy to afford things now. You be working like crazy, and then you even got to have like 2-3 jobs, and then on top of that, a side hustle to survive. I mean, this is just, I mean, our bodies weren't meant to be working all the damn time. But I mean, that's just how life is now. It's fucked up, but that's how life is. And I mean, eventually will things get better? Yeah, but it's gonna be a while. Like, I would say 8 to 10 years, or well, actually I would say even a little bit over 10 years, because it's gonna take a long time to fix everything that was fucked up in this country. So yeah. And they even talk about how young folks like me are not having kids, and I mean, the thing is, it's just like, we can't afford to have no kids. Shit, because I can barely take care of myself. I can't take care of no kid. That kid would grow up in poverty, and I don't want that. So it's just rough all around, and it got even worse for those of us that were struggling, because you just can't climb your way out of this. That's why I'm trying my hardest to just get out of America. You know, I'm saving all the money that I can. I'm looking at you know, different ways to, you know, get out of here. And I'm not quite sure exactly where I'm gonna go yet, but you know, it's but I'm looking at, you know, places. So yeah. But anyway, I think that's where I'm gonna end the video today. So like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video.